welcome back to our channel. This will be a brief overview of our Uragan rifle by Airgun Technology.
Stay tuned and subscribe, click the bell, and enjoy. Quick overview, not a full review, just a quick overview of the wife's new toy, the Uragan air rifle by Airgun Technology. We've had our initial trial run, so it calls for a quick overview just to, make sure you folks are updated on the rifle if you folks are following experience. First trial run, we got a little bit of data to go over the gun a little bit more. So it's now fully equipped with scope and bipod. Took it out on a field, on the playground a little bit, did some initial trial run. You folks can see that in another video, and real happy with the gun. I think some of the thing that makes this gun stand out is the balance. Sorry, the wife is cooking. If you hear a frying pan noise, that's the wife cooking. So anyway, the rifle itself is 3.5 as far as the published weight of the rifle, 3.5 kilograms. So with a scope and a bipod, you're gonna be around 10 pounds, 11 pounds easy, depending on what you're equipping your rifle with, if you are deciding to purchase this. If you want something lighter, you can go with the compact version, but of course the compact version has only the .177 and the .22 caliber. This is a .25, and to me it's more practical. Reason I went with this is because of capacity per fill. Of course it's new, and I wanted to be one of the first to kind of mess with it and kind of experience what this gun can bring to the table. And so far it does not disappoint. Well balanced. If you're thinking, oh well, 10 11, potentially 12 pounds, I mean, that's going to be heavy. No, you got to feel the gun. I mean, it's what stands out for this gun, I think, is balance. I mean, it's very well balanced that it feels light. I mean, it doesn't even feel like it's a when it's fully equipped, it doesn't even feel like it's a 10 11 pound gun. It feels like a 8-pound gun because it feels well balanced. I mean, the of course it's a synthetic stock. The grip, that's one thing to note for those of you with much bigger hands. You may or may not like, but for me, the wife, and I think for a majority of us that have an average size hand or smaller hands, it feels very nice. I mean, it feels like it just, I mean, you're like a gecko on this gun. It's very well formed. I mean, it's very comfortable. I can say that, and it's very well made. Nothing clanking, or even the biathlon type lever. This can be can be switched. I preferred it this way because when I'm shouldering the gun, I'm on I'm ready to go. My shooting, my trigger finger, pretty much ready to go, and I don't want to be doing one of these where, you know, I'm on here and doing, you know, taking off. I want to be able to stay in position, and I just, you know, I can do this very easily because the gun is so balanced. I mean, I shoulder it and I'm like, you know, very, very easy. It's a simple mechanism, but effective and efficient. There's not much to it. I mean, very easy. It takes very little force. Very smooth, nothing wobbly. It seems like, you know, some of the complaints with biathlon and quite a few guns out there that, you know, it comes unhinged, it becomes undone, the pivot pin or screw comes off, and this thing starts falling apart. Well, this gun, initial run with them, I think it's gonna stay. It doesn't seem like it comes loose, but we'll see long run. I mean, it's quality made, that's for sure. You can feel it. I mean, you handle this gun and it's just balanced. I mean, and that's with the scope and the bipod attached. The one thing I really love about this gun, what makes not just the barrel, but for those of you that have experience with the, you know, CZ barrel, this gun has a CZ barrel, so you know it's accurate. And not only that, but I think what makes it even more so accurate is because it's a combination of three things: the barrel, the balance of the gun, and especially the trigger. I mean, the trigger is by far the best I have ever, you know, felt on a air rifle. It's smooth, very crisp. I mean, adjustable to stage, very easy. I mean, amazing. It keeps you on target. You don't have to fight it. It's so light and crisp and smooth. Best trigger I have experienced. I'm willing to bet that it's as good as the Taipan Veteran. I don't have it yet. I'll probably look at that down the road. But I'm willing to compare the two, and this trigger is amazing. I'll do a comparison, of course, for currently the two guns that I have, which is the Brokaw Commander. I'll make a comparison between these two guns and probably possibly a toe-to-toe down the road. But right now, as far as this gun goes, trigger is amazing. That's my favorite feature of this gun: balance and trigger. Trigger is unmatched. I mean, it is nice, very nice. You know, Picatinny rails, of course, the magazine. You know, it's not a anti-double load type. So you are, if you're not careful, you will be able to double load this guy. Right now, I'm gonna, just to show you folks, I'm loading an empty gun, an empty magazine, and I'll put it on here, and it's aesthetically, it's pleasing. It's nice, it's out of the way, it's not sticking out. It's a 10-shot magazine for the 22, and that's the same for the compact. The only difference with the compact is, of course, the smaller bottle and smaller, shorter barrel length. Otherwise, everything else is the same. But, you know, when you're empty, I mean, you won't be able to push the pellet probe, because there's a a little nib or knob or whatever you call it that prevents you from pushing in that pellet probe to go through. So that tells you you're empty. Don't force it. I mean, it doesn't take much effort. You know you're empty. You don't want to end up damaging or bending the pellet probe. I don't think it bends that easily, but do not manhandle the thing, of course, because there is a thin part that pushes the pellet to the breech. So but again, it doesn't take much. You don't have to manhandle this thing. It's very, very light, very easy mechanism. The action is nice. The magazine, the one thing, so for now I'll put this on the side. The magazine, it's a love or hate thing with this magazine. Initially I hate it. Once I found a technique, it's fairly easy. You get used to it. You're kind of like, not bad. But you know, for those of you that's coming from the Vulcan 2, it uses the exact same magazine as the Vulcan 2. So if you folks are wondering, oh, I can't find a magazine for the Uragan, where did you find it? No, search for Vulcan 2 magazine. It's the same exact magazine. I'm not sure about the Vulcan 1, but I know for certain the Vulcan 2 uses the same magazine. But anyway, if you know you're done for the day and you don't want to keep pellets in the magazine, you pretty much just, you know, takes a little bit to just, it's a straight through hole. It's not like some of the magazines where it retains the pellet in there and you gotta like push it out via this skirt. It doesn't retain it. The technique to loading these magazines, some of you folks might be like, oh, you know, when I put it in, I'll put it in and it falls straight through, because it is a straight through. I mean, initially your initial thought is going to be like, you know, thinking, okay, well, it's wide enough to, if I load it towards the left, you know, I load it towards the left side, it's not going to fall out. Okay, that's fine, but you have to be careful. You don't, you know, I'll show you folks a way where an easy technique is to, you know, of course it's a spring-loaded type magazine, and what you'll have to do is, you know, use a little bit of force. Right now it's empty. I just emptied out. This pellets is the Exact King Heavy MK2 version, and that's what I decided to, you know, stay as the primary ammunition for this gun. There's no reason behind it. It's just that power wise and what we zeroed it in and accuracy, you know, it likes both the standard exact 25.39 Diablos, as well as the exact accuracy wise. It shoots them both very well. It's not one or the other that I chose for any reason whatsoever. It's just that power wise, this thing flings the MK2s, the 33.95 grain easily with little effort. So that's why I chose to go with the slightly heavier pellets. But you know, back to the magazine. Cover that hole with your pointer finger, and of course it's like you're pinching the magazine, and then you can use your thumb to, you know, rotate, or you know, you can assist both depending on how you know, versatile or agile your hands are. Basically you just cover that hole, so that way you don't have to watch out where you lay the pellet, and it won't fall out, and you know, you can just load it. And just to show you folks what I'm doing, you know, throw it on there, and I'm just simply rotating my finger. That's not the magazine, that's just me being clumsy, because it's a little bit hard for me to stare at magazine while trying to show you folks, and the camera is way out there. I don't want to reach over. But anyway, that's that. I mean, just follow that technique. You folks will be fine. It's easy. And because it's spring loaded, you folks might be wondering, oh, it's you know, for those of you that's super picky, you folks might be thinking, oh, it's gonna damage the pellet, it's gonna deform it. No, it's not gonna do anything to the pellet. I mean, you can even throw this in your pack, and it's not that spring is sensitive enough to rotate, put tension and rotate the next pellet in line, and align it to your I was gonna say chamber, but the breech, but not enough to sensitive enough not to damage the pellet skirt, or you know, the pellet, even if it's a soft lead type. So don't worry about that. But that is the technique. The case, the case itself, you know, with it fully equipped, scope mounted, bipod equipped, and the case is, yes, I'm glad it came with the gun for storage purpose. Yes, maybe travel, maybe yes. But I would go, you know, traveling and bringing it on a plane, I would rather go with a, I mean, I think it'll handle enough, but the way, you know, baggage handlers now, they just be flinging things around, and I think you can put a lock on this case. I'm not sure, but potentially I think you could. But anyway, yeah, it does not. You gotta take out. So it's not practical case. You can't take it with you to your playground and go shoot and then bring it back in the same case. If you're going to do that, it's not practical enough where you're gonna take out your bipod. You're gonna take out, if you have a bipod, you're gonna take out your scope, and then you gotta worry about it being zeroed again and checking it. I have another case, so it fits well. I'll go over that as far as gear and the equipment in another video, but right now it's about this gun. And you know, as far as this case and this gun with it fully equipped with a scope, it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. So you can see here, even if you were to remove the bipod and just the scope, it's not gonna clear. So don't even think about it. Just letting you folks know, it's not gonna clear it. It's too narrow. It's not wide enough to be able to accommodate just the scope and the rifle. They just won't fit. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but the Picatinny rails for scope and accessory bipod on the bottom. Of course, the biathlon lever can be positioned, like I said, on the left or the right. So that's no biggie for those of you left-handed and right-handed. I'm not left-handed, but I just wish I just wanted it on the left side. So because I want to, because it's so balanced, I shoulder it, and I pretty much leave it there. And I'm, you know, when I'm cheeking the scope, I'm pretty much just, you know, and I'm good to go. I'm on site. Some of you folks might prefer it to be on this side, you know, where you're cheeking the gun and you're stable anyway, and you prefer it on the right side, and you can go ahead and do that. No biggie, you know. So anyway, that's that. The fill 300 bar, I could get approximately I did shoot 70. I don't know where they got the number. It doesn't mention it on the manual. Manual is pretty much for the most part useless. It tells you maintenance oil, but it doesn't tell you the type of oils to use. It just says, you know, the type. Sorry about the guns. I mean, the dogs are barking. It's my Rottweiler again. But you know, it tells you very basic information, not the things that like shots per fill. It doesn't mention it. You know, it mentions the barrel. I would rather have information about shots per fill, when to fill the gun. You know, when it starts to affect trajectory. But you know, it just says 110. You know, you browse the net and you'll be able to find that for this particular caliber, the .25 caliber, it mentions 110 shots. Well, from 300 bar to approximately 157 bar, I shot approximately 70 shots, and that's more than enough, you know. I'm thinking if I go to about 150 50 bar, I'm not sure if it'll start to affect trajectory, given the weight of the pellet that I'm using. I'm not sure. I'd have to spend more time with the gun, or the wife will spend more time with the gun, as this is her gun. I have my Brocock Commander that I'll be reviewing as well and go over that. But again, 300 bar, and we'll post some pictures in this video, and I took each shot so you folks can have a good gauge on every shot, every full magazine, which is a 10-shot magazine. I took a picture of where of the gauge. You know, the second magazine I emptied out, I took another picture. Again, out of the box, I did not make any modification whatsoever with this gun. I mean, so just know, out of the box, this gun shooting that many. So I'm not sure. I don't have any information. Good luck contacting. That's one of the things that almost got me to blow off this company altogether and not get my business, because when I emailed them when it was late, I just simply asked, hey, you know, what is the ETA for, you know, the expected arrival for, you know, the dealers to get the Uragan, because it was supposed to be April, mid-April, April 2015. It ended up being late, and I emailed those guys, and to this day, you know, it's you know, May now, and I still didn't get response. So, you know, and one of the other thing, the funny thing is, I thought to myself, oh, they can't even spell Airgun. They spelt it one word, and Airgun is not one word. It's two different words. Why would I get their business? You know, why would they get my business? I'd rather buy a gun that knows how to spell their name. But anyway, that's just a funny tidbit. It's probably just me. I'm just clowning. But again, I'm just disappointed that they don't respond. So I'm thinking, you know, but I was really interested in the gun, being that you could adjust shots per fill, the published one. It's really impressive, because 110, I was like, oh, you know, that's great. Plus the joules, 67 joules according to the published version, the published documentation. 67 joules, which would equate to, you know, approximately 49 foot-pounds, 49.4 foot-pounds, given the, you know, if you, I don't know where to get that number, if that's via the standard JSB, the 25.39, and the, you know, you calculate the ballistic, using a ballistic calculator, 935 velocity. Yeah, that's about 49 foot-pounds. But anyway, okay, so I guess the other thing is, for those of you maybe wondering why did I choose the exact King Heavy 2, no specific reason. It's not because, you know, all the other pellets are not accurate. No, it's not because of that. It's because of power that this gun is capable of. I thought it can easily push the, I mean, it flings the 33.95 grain out the window very easily. I mean, it just, you should hear this gun make an impact on a target. Oh man. Anyway, this gun's very nice. It doesn't disappoint. CZ barrel, adjustable from left to right, versatile biathlon, well made. You know, I'm not sure the accuracy of the gauge. It has a, I'm not sure if this is by Wicca or Huma or whoever makes this, but it has the Airgun technology symbol on it. But as far as what it tells me, I'm just trusting that it is accurate. I'll have to calibrate and check and compare with what, you know, when I'm filling it with bottle versus, you know, what the bottle gauge tells me, and another, you know, maybe I'll throw in a different comparison gauge just to see if it's within range of what it actually claims that it is. As far as, you know, it's very easy. Some of you folks that might be wondering, you know, the barrel, the Vulcan. Some of you folks that have experience with the Vulcan, you folks have complained about, you know, the hammer spring being loud. This one, you can't notice it. I mean, I don't hear it at all. To me, I'm very sensitive. I'm an audiophile I'm a hobbyist. I'm a enthusiast, more like. So I try to preserve my ear as much as possible. And this gun, on the very first field run, which we didn't include in the first trial run video, but actually what I noticed was the hammer slap on this gun when you've accidentally not closed the breech. You know, I don't blame the wife. I could have done it just as easily, but with regards to the breech, not, you know, you don't fully close it and you pull the trigger, the Breech O-ring, and I don't think that's this, that I cannot identify. I believe this is a fill probe. I don't know. It seems smaller than the fill probe O-ring, but you know, I don't know if you stretch it and put it around the fill probe, that it might fit, but it's definitely not gonna fit the Breech O-ring. So I wish it came labeled what this is, or I wish it came with Breech O-ring, because that's the most common thing that, you know, go off or go bad or damage is the Breech O-ring. And for one, when you notice your gun has a much louder bang against your ear when you're cheeking the gun, you know, you pretty much have to realize that something is wrong, because by right this gun is fairly quiet. Without it is a shrouded barrel, so it's quiet. It takes out a lot of the bark. I'm pretty sure it's even quieter with a moderator, which you can add, you know, just by taking out this thread guard right here. You can add your own moderator. It'll be much more quieter, but it's quiet enough where it's a powerful gun. And I thought, oh, it's gonna be a bit louder because of the, you know, judging from the foot pounds, but no, it's actually quieter than I expected. So that's a plus. Again, the breech O-ring, if you don't close it fully, even with your magazine on there and you load it, it's gonna blow out that O-ring. Then you'll realize that the O-ring might fly out the opposite direction, which then would catch against this and keep this from rotating fully. So you'll have a difficult time trying to remove it. Don't force it. Just wiggle it, you know, little by little. You know, you might have to take out the stock just to and I know this because it happened to us unintentionally. I noticed it was ladder when I tried it after the wife had messed with it, and she accidentally left the lever on the off position, and the O-ring blew out when she pulled the trigger. It could have happened to anyone. I'm pretty sure you folks will experience that at one point or another. But yeah, breech O-ring, the manual takes a breakdown of each part and component, but it doesn't tell you if it's a breech O-ring or not. But if you look at the breakdown, you can kind of tell it's 86, and well, you have to pretty much make sense of what these are. These are the caliber size, I believe, so you'd have to identify which caliber and go on with the proper O-ring. For me, how I resolved that was that I have a Brocock Commander, which came labeled in a package just like this. It was labeled Brocock Commander breech O-ring on it. So I knew exactly what it was. And I went and fit the O-ring on here with the assumption that I figure how different can the pellet size be from a different rifle with .25 same caliber, you know. So, and it fits perfect, no problem. Went in, of course, a little bit of technique. It's a little bit more difficult to put it on here because of clearance, you know. If you want it to be a little bit more easy, you just have to, you know, I didn't remove anything. I just fitted it. But if for those of you that have a little bit more difficult time, you'd have to just take this Allen wrench bolt here, loosen this, take it out, and then each side of the stock you have another Allen wrench here, and the opposite side another Allen wrench, and you simply can yank this stock out. This guy then has about 3 more Allen star bit style Allen not Allen star bit style screws, and then you can remove this, and it'll give you a little bit more room to view or maneuver to put that O-ring in. But anyway, if you do run into that, you'll know, because one, it either blew off completely and it's now getting stuck and keeping your thing there, and also you may not notice it and it just flew out or whatever the case. And when you're shouldering this, you're cheeking this and you're shooting it, it's making a loud noise noticeably. Well, that's the hammer spring, and that's because it now doesn't have proper seal in the breech that would keep some of those noise to move forward. And also, in addition, for mines, the only thing I did a little bit of custom is I put a little bit of I don't know what it's called, but a felt. Very minimal room here, but I put a felt. I'll go over that in the overview, but for now we'll just keep it simple, keep it short. No, it's not noisy. It's not the hammer spring is not noticeable when you're cheeking the gun, because you know you're worried about the hammer spring being in this area, and you're right next to the trigger and breach your ears right against the hammer slap. No, it's not. So you folks that are worried about that, this gun, I can't really compare because I don't have a Vulcan 1 or Vulcan 2, but again, I can say that no, it's not noisy. I have very sensitive ears and it's not noisy at all. That's no problem. But I am happy with the gun. The wife is happy with the gun. She's a lady, so weight-wise, if it's easy enough for her to handle, you men out there that are enthusiasts or wondering about this gun, it's very, very well made, well balanced. There's a few things that I don't like, which are minimal with regards to, of course, what I mentioned, the probe fill. I wish that when you're putting it into the tank, you don't have to maneuver the hose. I wish this was on this side and the what in the world you call it, the relief valve or relief pressure or purge valve is on this side instead, and the hose on this side. So when you're rotating it, you don't have to worry about fidgeting with the hose this way, unscrewing and screwing this onto your tank. Otherwise, I love that they included it. I love they include the case. I just wish the case was more accommodating to scope and bipod. Magazine, I don't love it, I don't hate it. Initially I hated it, and then I found the technique, and now it's easy. I don't mind it. Other than that, it's problem free. Not very picky with pellets so far. Of course, I'll go more in depth. What I don't like though is I did try, I didn't do a thorough run on every pellet. I do have quite a few pellets that I have, HN, the Diablo JSDs, various grains, and HN, various grains and types. I have the Benjamin, I think it's Benjamin. So I've tried those. Yeah, Benjamin, various HNs, I mean, from Barracuda, Hunter, Extreme to, hollow points and everything else. But, Polymags, it's not very picky gun. The magazine itself can pretty much accommodate, I think, for the most part, majority of pellets. The polymag is slightly longer because of the point. It has no problem with it. The only thing that I would not try again with this gun, I think for both guns, is the Predator GTO. I initially carried it with me in my pellet pack here, but I removed it. I'm not going to try it because it feels like it almost hurts when I'm trying to push it, because you can feel it. It's not soft because it's lead-free type pellet, the GTO Predator. It's much lighter, so velocity of course increases because it's much lighter. But I don't care for velocity, I care for accuracy. I haven't tried it enough to see if it's accurate, but I won't, because for one, I don't like it because it seems like I gotta put a bit of effort to push it to the breech. I mean, and I'm not gonna do that to my guns, the wife gun and my gun. So even the Brokaw Commander don't like that pellet. So I don't know if it's the size, or I don't know if I just got a batch. I just won't try it anymore, the Predator GTO. I'm not sure if you folks out there experience the same thing, but I'm not gonna try it. As far as the other pellet goes, it has no problem with them. Accuracy of each pellets, I'll have to go through that more in depth, and as time go by, that's where the full review comes in. That's where the chronograph will come in. I don't have my chronograph yet. I'll get it. I'm just trying to wage time now to see if the chronograph availability will be the one that I'm thinking I may get. But as far as that, I can't give you folks any more validation as far as accuracy goes. But the rifle does not disappoint. For the price, I would have been thinking, the whole reason why I chose this over the compact version. The compact version, to me, shots per fill, and I wanted the same. I don't want to fidget with buying different types of caliber. I already have a 25 cal, so I'm gonna go with a 25 cal for the wife. So that way, we bring the same caliber type. We don't have to worry about mixing, matching, and that sort of thing. And that's the one reason why I went with this. And for hunting purposes, I wanted to make sure I have enough. And power wise, yes, it's there. Size caliber wise, for mid-size game, I don't think this one has a problem. I mean, it pops birds. I mean, this thing, I don't primarily use it for birds, but certain pest birds out there, I'll target, but otherwise I'll leave them alone. It's more for field target practice, like paper targets and whatnot. And if I wouldn't doubt I can take out a mid-size to larger size pig, wild pig, if I properly placed with this gun. I have no doubt about it. It's powerful enough. The one thing that I think you folks would have to take into account is, will it be practical for you? The whole reason why I went with this gun for the wife, and of course for me, when the wife is not using it, or vice versa, she can use it. It's what's mine is hers, hers is mine. So I thought this was practical enough. I don't want to have to worry about shots per fill and a small little bottle. I don't know. Power wise, I wanted to make sure this definitely had it. Why I went this and not the Vulcan 2, which of course came out first. The Vulcan 2 power, shots per fill, this one takes it. So that's why this came about. Originally, they put me off, like I said, they meaning Uragan, the response to email. I have yet to see a response. They didn't respond, so I figured, why would I even bother? But it was because I was more interested in this gun, and that's what forced me to kind of say, well, I'll give it a chance. And I'm not disappointed. I like it. I'm happy with it so far. Looks like it's very well built, well balanced. Again, I'll have to repeat, as far as accuracy goes, CZ barrel are accurate. For most of you that have experience with it, that it's accurate. But what I think plays a big role into why this gun seems so accurate, especially for a first-time shooter like my wife. She can hit 55 yards easy. I mean, hitting nickel size at 55 yards easily, and that's her first time with a rifle, any rifle. And for her, that's easy. One, because balance. Not just simply, yes, the barrel takes a huge factor, but balance and the trigger. The trigger is so dang light and crisp. I mean, it's two-stage adjustable. Out of the box. You don't have to mess with it. And I don't recommend you folks messing with it unless you really know what you're doing. But as far as linkage going back, I thought, wow, for this type of assembly, you would think the mechanism, the trigger mechanism would be more fidgety, or a lot harder to pull in comparison. But I'll compare the two guns. But as far as this gun alone, I mean, by far the best trigger I've ever felt in an air rifle, ever. So just putting that out there. And I think that's it for this video. I'll go more in depth as far as overview. Maybe the wife will do an overview. Maybe both of us will, as we spend more time with the gun. Next video coming up will definitely be the Brocock Commander overview. I won't do the unboxing. I think there's enough Commander, Compatos, whatever, how do you say, all the various models. Of course, the HP or Magnum version is new. It just came out. And I got that gun first before this gun, because the Brocock Commander came out in April. This one just came out first in May. First week of May, ending April. So I'll go over that. But you folks may be wondering why I chose to go international in purchasing this gun. Because out here they're making a killing on us in the US market, where the price is a lot higher. I mean, I got international and shipped it to me here in Hawaii, and with 2 additional magazines that I included with my purchase, and shipped via UPS, and it still was $1,533. That's shipped to me, So I'm happy with it. I can buy a whole bunch of ammunition with the money saved. So I'm happy. I don't have to worry about, oh man, I spent that much on this gun. Ooh, I did because of that, I'm even more happier. The guys I purchased it from did a good job responding to me and getting the gun to me. I'll probably be shooting them an email, and pointing them out to this video, and see if we can maybe give them a few. If I'm not gonna mention them right now, because I'd like to get more info as far as if they are okay with mentioning their names. I'm pretty sure they would be. I mean, I'm giving them customers, but yeah, I'll definitely promote them if they're okay with it. I don't see why not, but again, I'll go over that more so later on. I'll probably go over a gear review of what I equipped this gun with, and the case that I more practical for this gun from home to the playing ground. So yeah, we'll go over that. Stay tuned for more videos, and yeah, subscribe, click the bell so you're notified of upcoming videos, and see you folks on the next one.
Damn. 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 Damn.